you remember when you first all met?
Yeah, really like vividly.
Do you?
It was,
What,
yeah.
as in like Connor's, like first time the four of us?
All of us, yeah. All of like individual. I met you in a train carriage. Met you on the station. Con, we met you in Royal Garden.
Hotel.
Yeah, always kind of like remember those moments. Really cool. And we asked Con to be in the band when we were in the studio session.
So the first time I met James was at a train station in Birmingham, and we picked him up. This young strapping boy. But he'd been looking for people to kind of start a band with for a while, and I was in like little bands around Birmingham and stuff. But as with every member, we've just kind of clicked, and it's like, oh, it's super obvious. Like, so I don't think there was any hesitation as to like, oh, who we're gonna pick. The first time we were like, okay, this is the bass. Tris, it was like, this is that guy. Come on, this is it now. This is the final puzzle piece. So it was really, really natural. Really.
It was
easy.
interesting with Con as well because, like, originally I wanted to like stay as a three because we were so like close. It was new, and then we were interviewing, like we were looking for a fourth member, and we were just like hanging out with people, and nothing was like happening. There was like no vibe there, and we were like, oh, it's actually really hard to find like a member to bring into this. And then Con came about, and then I saw his cover of Blink-182, and I was like, this is our
I love it.
Sold
it.
Sold it.
Yeah, and it was like perfect. It was like a no-brainer.
And do you remember when the album came out? Like, your first kind of fans and that stuff?
Was it the Westfield day?
Yeah, that was first album, wasn't it?
It's traumatising.
That's a really bad day, that
Like,
day.
I had an ear. Okay, so
Oh,
we went
yeah.
to the
I broke my
park
ankle.
the day before. Yeah, and like we were playing football. Like, oh, the album's going out. So, and then James was like running to get a ball. Like, action man.
I was walking. That's why it's
you were.
worse, man. I wasn't
Legging
even
it.
And then he put his foot down a hole. And, did you break your ankle?
Well, in hindsight, they think I broke it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you not go to hospital?
No, there's no time, James. The album.
That's our manager, by the
We
way.
had to go to like Westfield and do this thing, and I was like,
Limping.
I
Same
couldn't fucking
day?
walk. Like, yeah, it's bad, really bad.
on crutches.
I had a walking stick. Remember?
And, like,
Yeah,
he hasn't even released the album yet. Let's go.
Yeah, getting on with it. But Brad had perforated eardrum or something. Didn't
I
he?
used to sit in the shower because I thought it was good for my voice because of all the steam,
Okay.
and it's just a vibe. Do you know what I mean? Just sitting in there, and then
Didn't you
I don't know
lie
if I
down?
fell asleep or something.
You said you lay in the shower.
Yeah, I lay down.
Nice.
I lay down.
I lay down, but it was a big day, so I was like contemplating. And as I lay down, like just shout, the water obviously was just like just plummeting into
Dealing
my
with
ear.
you, yeah.
Oh my god, no
you
chance
fall
of me getting
asleep?
Like a super soaker.
Maybe, yeah. And then woke up with a really bad ear infection. Like, couldn't hear out of this side of my ear. My whole side of my head was just throbbing. We are sharing a room, so you've got me going, what? Throbbing, and then him like can't walk out of the bed.
It was really bad.
He's like, go and promote the album now, boys. And then we had to we went from one side of London to the other. So we went from Westfield, Stratford,
Yeah, to White City, didn't we?
to Westfield, White City. And we took the tube, and it was just like, it was such a great day, but then at the same time,
Should
like,
have been good, yeah.
like just hammering painkillers.
Yeah, it was weird though by the end of the day of the album because we did a signing I think in Stratford, didn't we? And then we did something in the thing. We'd heard our album like dozens of times by the end of that day. Like I was already.
You had, I hadn't.
Well, no, yeah, you had the bass, yeah.
Yeah, half of it.
But we like it was literally like when we do the signings, we'd historically like play the song we're releasing on the album, but like you realise how like. It's insane, isn't it? Listening to an album for like 6 hours straight, and it's your own album. It was great. By the end, I was like, "This is good, man." But like, kind of hurt a bit.
Just when you've already listened to it to make it.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be
We knew
hearing. Oh, I'd change that. You can't now.
God, can you imagine? No.
Was it busy though? Did you have loads of fans come out?
We did, yeah. We did like a performance. So when we got to the Westfield in Shepherd's Bush, we did like a big performance in the main bit, and it was weird because that was the first place that we performed. So we did like a pop-up fan thing there very early on. I think we'd released like 2 or 3 songs, and we did a pop-up one there, and then we did it like 6 months later when the album was released. And it was just mad. Like I think there was probably like 5,000 people. There was maybe not 5,000. There was 100,000 people.
At least.
it
It was pretty.
was like
lit.
a couple
There was a lot of
thousand,
people,
like, there was
yeah.
a lot of people.
I've never seen a show in Westfield again after that.
I think it was, yeah,
What did you do?
security.
Shut
What
it
did you do
down.
I
wrong?
know we either nailed it or really did.
Never again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
Like one of the first songs that we all wrote together was a song called "She Was the One," and I think like it started. It had a bit of a journey, but that was like the song that kind of got us signed, and the first song that we like jammed together, and that ended up on the first album. I think that was one of the only ones from the process before we were signed, when we were just writing initially, that made it too. And that's been like the red line that's like followed through that whole 2 years, and it was the thing that got us into. We worked with these guys called Metrophonic in Guildford, and that was like our first writing camp for the band. And that they gained interest through the songs that we'd been writing, and mainly that song "She Was the One." And it was just so weird because you'd taken out of, we were all in school or like sixth form, and you're like plucked out and then dropped in this world of like incredible songwriters, like amazing producers, insane studios, and it's just everything that you kind of like dreamed of doing, and you get to do it with people that like are alright, they're not too bad. So, and we were having a really good time doing it, so the memories around that time were just really, really like beautiful, special memories for me.
But I think
Yeah,
what we
pretty
were
tough,
pushed
pretty
into
tough.
was like the best kind of learning experience you could
Oh,
have.
yeah.
I think because you're pushed into a room with legends that have done it for years. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like industry people, like underdogs, who would just kind of give you so much good advice, and being forced into that environment at a young age, I think it's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky, but it's like really, it gets you just leveled up really quickly, and just you try and better yourself, and you learn things that you wouldn't learn in school because it's, you know, it's an experience that's completely different. So I think, you know, there's positives out of it, 100%. Obviously negatives
of course,
as well.
Yeah. I mean, you go to school to like get a job, so if you can get a job and just leave, like.
But
Yeah.
there's the experience with like uni that obviously we've missed, that is, you know, people have fun and people find themselves through uni. So obviously that's the negative that we've never actually experienced. You know, like freshers, well, you have a couple of times, you know.
Oh yeah,
You
through
were
like your other
not-
mates who were
Yeah.
doing freshers, you were like.
He joined uni for about 3
I
weeks.
did uni without the work.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Which was nice. Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
guest bits.
But I guess we partied in other ways, so.
Well, yeah, if
Yeah.
you got like 4 of you on like touring and stuff, like,
Yeah.
you get kind of, it's kind of halls, like just moving
Yeah,
halls.
It is,
literally.
yeah.
Yeah.